Hi. It feels so good to be back. I feel like I haven't been on here in forever, even though it's been like only 3 days. But I'm back. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. And I have everything in my link tree, the um, Patreon, the Womanizer, Self Pleasure, Toys. Don't forget, you can use code AFF-Queen for money off some self pleasure stuff. And then you can use the code Queen15 for your 15% off at Glow Melanin for some skincare. No makeup today, just taking a break from makeup. Y'all know I don't like to wear it all the time. So yeah, so that's all for that. All right, so let's go ahead and let's just go ahead and get right into it. Okay. So, I don't know. I just thought that this topic was interesting because something that's always been funny to me in regards to men is that men always think that they'll find better. And the reason why they think that they're always going to find better is because men do realize that they actually have more options of like good women, beautiful women than we have. As of like when it comes to men, men understand that they have a much better pick of the litter when it comes to women than women do when it comes to men. They understand that. What men fail to understand, though, what men fail to understand is that although there are more options, that, you know, those options are not available to them. That's what they don't realize. They see a car lot full of all the cars. There's a Mercedes, there's a BMW, there's a Maserati, there's a Honda, there's all these cars, but they don't ever consider like, what's my credit looking like? What's my bank account looking like? What's the car insurance going to be? Is any of this, are these BMWs that are in the car lot, are these Mercedes in the car lot? Can I even afford what I want? They don't think that far. They're just like, the BMW is in the car lot and that's what I want. That's all that they think. Men, they shut their brain off after that's what I want. Once they tell themselves that's what they want, they don't question anything else after that. They don't question if they can attain it. They don't question if they can get it. Their brain just shuts off. Once they have their eye on the prize, that's it. Okay, that's it. And then they realize, oh shit, like the better really doesn't exist. The better really doesn't exist because it's like, sir, like you don't qualify for the car that you actually want. You don't qualify. You want the car, but you can't get it. Okay. So a lot of this comes along with male regret because you want to know what? The manosphere, they love to get on the internet and they love to find these videos of like Pick Me and Barb the Builder crying because she just turned 30 years old and like she doesn't have a man and she's not married. They love to find the videos of women who got a divorce and, they realize that they missed out on a good man or they left a good man. They love to get videos of women having regret. And I feel as though we never talk about male regret. And that's just simply because men like to withhold the fact that they regret losing out on a woman. Like they will tell that woman, but they won't get on the internet and say like, oh yeah, like I regret losing her. Like it's more of an internal secret battle that they have within themselves as opposed to something that they want to display publicly, because that obviously would take a hit at their ego and their masculinity. Okay. And that's where I'm leading into when it comes to this illusion that their ego is constantly feeling them. The root of evil of all men is the ego. Okay. That's going to be every man's downfall in life. That's going to always be the ruin and the kryptonite of a man. It's always going to be his ego. I could tell right away if it's going to work between me and a guy or not based off how deeply rooted he is in his ego. If he's deeply rooted in his ego, it's not going to work out. I understand that he's going to make a lot of dumb decisions, and I understand that he is going to constantly be thinking in the mindset of how will everything look to other people, the performance, the stage that I'm on. How is this going to look to everybody else once he's rooted into his ego? So what happens is that first their ego tells them like, oh, you're above her, you're better than her, you can do better. And so this is why a lot of men, once they get like a job promotion or like they graduate from college, once men ascend in like the status, like the forms of status that are supposed to, that are supposed to make men gain favor in society, their ego tells them that they've outgrown everything adjacent to them. So like celebrities do this all the time, right? The women who are there like before they become a big celebrity, yeah, they end up like dumping that girl, and then they decide like, oh, well, I'm a celebrity now, so I deserve to be with another celebrity. Like I can do better than this hometown girl that I've been dealing with this whole time. It's time for me to like move up the ranks essentially. So what they don't realize is that like when men deal with women, especially women who put up with a lot of stuff and they tolerate a lot of stuff, and women who emotionally regulate them, what they quickly realize is that the woman that they think that, oh, like they're doing better, like, oh, I can do better and this is like the better woman, a lot of the time they quickly realize that this woman that they perceive to be better, she's not going to tolerate all that shit, and this may not be the next woman, but at somewhere down the line they end up finding a woman that they think is better, and then they quickly realize like this woman doesn't tolerate what it is that I've been allowed to get away with for either one relationship for a long span of time or multiple relationships, because they just keep hopping from pick me to pick me, right? And the reason why I say this is because a lot of the time these men leave women and then have regret after, because it's too easy. Like honestly, and this is the reason why I tell women all the time, I'm gonna be a man's hell every single time. I'm going to be a man's hell every single time, because they really they don't want things to be easy for too long. They actually want things to be hard and difficult, and like they actually want you to make things more difficult for them over time. I kind of feel like this is why I'm like, I'm not ever going to be a man's peace. No, like you're not even creating any peace. So why should I give you some? If you're not doing anything to create peace, I'm not going to give you any peace. That doesn't make any sense. Like, no, no. And so what happens is that they realize, like, they start having a contrast between like what they're thinking and going through emotionally. Men have a lot of cognitive dissonance. So what'll happen is that they'll be with somebody that's like pick Misha, that just lets them get away with everything. And then they get bored and they're like, you want to know what? I'm above pick Misha. I want to go deal with an IG baddie. And then IG baddie is like, you want to know what? I'm not really going to tolerate this. And, I'm really not going to deal with this. But then they see that as a challenge, and they see that as something fun that they can keep just like chasing after and like constantly seeking out a reward once they finally arrive to be able to achieve the baddie, while still being upset that the baddie isn't going to put up with anything. And so then they're like, oh, well, I want to go back to Pick Misha. Like things were just so much easier with Pick Misha. But then I know I'll get bored with Pick Misha. Like they're all over the place. This is why these men, I hear it all the time. It's never happened to me, but you'll hear from these men that it'll be like the day before their wedding, and they'll message an ex from like 10 years ago, and they'll be like, it's you I should have married. Like, I realize that it's you I should have married. And like the wedding is like 10 hours from now. The wedding is literally 10 hours from now to a different woman, and they're telling you that they wish that you were the woman that they would have married. Like, something mentally has to be wrong with a person that would even do that. Like there has to be a high level of confusion in a man's brain to even do such a thing, because men, like, psychologically something's wrong with them. Psychologically, something is wrong with them. This is the reason why, like, when it comes to stuff like this, and women are like, but what does all this mean? Like, what, like, why are they acting like that? A lot of the time, I have to attribute it to the fact that they're crazy and demonic. I really do have to attribute it to the fact that they're crazy and demonic because only a crazy person only a crazy person would do such a thing. Like, you're about to get married to somebody and you're going to sit here and reach out to someone that you dealt with 10 years ago. The only justification for that is that the person is crazy and mentally incompetent. That just that's just really the only justification that I can give for that. You know what I mean? And this is the reason why men are always like having this regret. Okay, because like the biggest thing is, okay, men don't like it when you put the mirror to their behavior. This is another thing. This is why if you're a woman that's dealing with men and a man is not doing something that you want him to do, this is why I don't believe in communicating with men. Verbal communication with men is a waste. You have to mirror their behavior. You have to, with your actions, show them the treatment that they are giving you. That's the only way that a lot of men are going to get it. And they face this cognitive dissonance because they'll treat you any old kind of way because they see themselves as being better than you or above you or the alpha in the situation. And then when they're no longer with you, then they now have a mirror to show their insecurity. This is the reason why men, they like to just like, they'll get out of a breakup and then right away, they want to go be with somebody else because they don't want to deal with being alone and having to have a mirror be shown to their insecurities. They just want to cure it by finding somebody else and like having to avoid sitting with themselves through those things, right? So a lot of men seek validations through rebound relationships. This is why I don't like it when women harp over like stalking men's social media and being like, "Oh my god, like he's moved on," and or sometimes we'll do this thing where you ask for like a whole 2 years for him to take you on a trip to, I don't know, Puerto Rico. And within 6 months he took this girl to Puerto Rico. Within 6 months he took this girl to Puerto Rico, and you're over here like, "What the freak happened? Like, I asked you for 2 years if you could take me there, and you never took me. And now you're dealing with someone else within 6 months, and now you're taking this woman to the very same place that I wanted to go." And all it has to do with the fact of it's like, it's just simply because you stuck around despite him not taking you to Puerto Rico. And he's so thirsty to keep this rebound relationship. He's like, "You want to know what? I need to be on my best behavior. Let me just make sure that I pull out all the stops now. So that way I can at least keep this girl a little bit longer than I kept the last woman." And then guess what? That relationship, it'll be a whole nother heap of problems. So then she'll ask something from the man, and then guess what? He won't do it. He's not going to do it. She has her own set of requirements, own set of wants that she wants and that she's demanding and asking. He's just not going to give it. And with that, I always tell women, okay, well, then the things that they're asking for, just don't give it to them. Like, give them back that same energy. I think it's a waste to keep communicating with men and telling men because they heard you. They heard you. They heard the words coming out of your mouth when you had a conversation with them and asked them, "Hey, I need you to do XYZ, or it would really make me happy if you did XYZ for me." They heard the words coming out of your mouth. They didn't care. They did not care. But guess what? They care when you decide that you're going to go on that vacation that you were asking them to take you on, and you decide that you're going to go on the vacation with somebody else. Then all of a sudden, well, but we had a conversation and you said that you wanted to go on that vacation with me. And it's like, yeah, we had that conversation a year ago. How long do I have to wait? How long do I have to wait for us to do something and for me to ask you to do something? And you haven't even planned the trip. That was a year ago, and you haven't even researched anything. You haven't shown me any resorts. You haven't shown me any Airbnbs. You haven't confirmed any time for us to go because you don't care. You don't care. And this is also why a lot of these men will like stalk your social media. And this is also why I tell women, you need to be no contact after you're done with them in the relationship, because they have these dopamine withdrawals after you get out of a relationship with them. And they want to stalk your social media because then they want to see if you're dating somebody else. Because guess what? If they see that you are dating somebody else and they're friends with you on social media, or they see like that you're at a dinner, they're going to message you, oh, so who are you out at dinner with? You must be on a date, huh? They're going to use all of these things to try to reel themselves back in and make it seem as if you shouldn't be having an experience with somebody else just because you're not in a relationship with them anymore. And it's like, well, if I'm not in a relationship with you anymore, wouldn't that deem for me to be able to have experiences with another person? Like, there's still a high level of possessiveness that men feel that they are entitled to even after the relationship has ended. And it's kind of crazy. This is the reason why I'm firm on no contact after a relationship is done. You'll just have to regret the relationship ending from afar with no contact. And you'll just have to have it in your brain as to why the situation ended and what I'm doing now. Uh, because I'm not going to keep the door open for you to be stalking me and feeling entitled to knowing who I'm with and where I'm going and all of those things, just simply because you feel a sense of ownership. And a lot of men like to think that. They like to think, you know what? Uh, we were together once. That means we're together forever. And it's like, that's just never gonna fly, honestly. I met a guy this week in hemming and hawing about going out on a proper first date, restaurant, keeps wanting to come to my apartment first to hang out, like hell to the no. I don't know this dude. And it's homosexual season. When men want to come over to your house, especially when they want to come over on the first date, they ain't got nowhere to stay. The temperature is dropping. Okay, the temperature keeps dropping. These men that want to come over on the first date, I'm telling y'all, don't let them ever come over. As the temperature gets cooler, they want these first dates to happen at your house because I'm telling you, you're gonna, if you invite them over, they're gonna come and they're gonna have a book bag. They're gonna come with a book bag, and you're gonna be like, why do you have a book bag? He's going to come up with some convenient lie and be like, oh, I just came here from the gym, or I just came here from, work. He's going to try to make it seem as if like he had to have something with him to transition between one place to another place. Girl, in reality, that book bag is his kitchen, is his bedroom, his dresser drawers. It's everything. That book bag is everything because he doesn't have a place to stay. He don't got no place to stay. So yeah, the weather's getting cooler. The weather's getting cooler. These men are looking for a place to stay. Okay. They're like, dang, your place is nice. They're complimenting your place. They're like, dang, this place looks so nice. It's like, my place ain't that nice. Get the hell up out of here. So when they're coming with a bag, because no man carry no book bag regularly. Ain't you don't see a ton of men walking around with a book bag like a purse. You just don't. Yeah, they're there. They got their toiletries and their 5 pairs of underwear and their 2 pairs of socks. And yeah, it's just not ever gonna be good for you. Okay. Another thing too, oh my goodness. Okay. Sometimes too, like I feel like a big reason why a lot of men will like they'll regret like not dealing with a woman anymore once they feel like they've like done better, a lot of it comes from the emotional regulation. Men don't ever want to give credit for Men don't ever want to give women credit for emotionally regulating them, and the reason why is because it would require men to admit the fact that they are therefore emotional. So men are never going to admit the fact that women emotionally regulate them. They like to say this in other ways, like the in my opinion, when men say, I want her to be my peace. Peace to me in man language means emotionally regulate. I want a woman to emotionally regulate me. I want a woman to allow herself to be my punching bag. And for some men, that could be literally or figuratively. I want a woman who is going to take the brunt of all of my issues and all of my problems and just tell me that everything is going to be okay despite me not doing what I need to do necessary to make sure that I'm not in said situations. In my opinion, that's what they want when they say that they want peace. They want you to emotionally regulate. This is why I don't emotionally regulate men. And this is why a lot of men tend to have issues with me in relationships. I would say I would say the most consistent downfall for me being in relationships with men based off of what men have told me is because I refuse to emotionally regulate them. I do not emotionally regulate men. And the reason why I don't emotionally regulate men is because it forces them to take accountability for the things that they are lacking in. And it requires a level of accountability and growth that everybody else in their life tends to not hold them to. Men don't emotionally regulate other men. Their mothers don't. Their mothers constantly are emotionally trying to regulate them by letting them get away with whatever it is that they want to do. And men would always get frustrated with me because they would come to me with like all of these complaints. Like my one of my exes, he just always had a complaint about everything. You know what I mean? And I simply told him, I was like one time he was shitty because he's like, oh yeah, like I accidentally forgot to take out my earrings at this job interview, and like I'm a black man and like I'm not supposed to do that and yada yada yada. And I'm like, well then you should have took your earrings out. You should have took your earrings out. Like, I don't know what you want me to say. Like, you knew that you were going to an interview. You know how the outside world perceives you, and you know the people that you're interviewing with. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, you'll get them next time. It'll be fine. It'll be okay. Like, no, you need to be better prepared for the next time to make sure that you don't repeat that error again. Like, I'm sorry. If a man wants emotional regulation, refer him to a therapist. Okay, refer him to a therapist. That's how a man should be learning how to emotionally regulate. I don't have it in me to emotionally regulate a man. But if they do deal with women before me who emotionally regulated, and then they come to and deal with a woman like me that won't emotionally regulate, they're going to be very quick to go back to Pick Misha and be like, yeah, Pick Misha, I want to deal with you again because this other girl over here, I mean, obviously they're not admitting this, but it's because this other girl over here, she won't let me trauma dump on her, and she won't let me manipulate her with all of my complaints and all of my issues. You know what I'm saying? So I need to come back over here because I know that you'll coddle me and you'll make me feel better and you won't hold me accountable. So when they don't have that energy, because I'm a firm believer that emotionally regulating a man is a really, in my opinion, I think it's one of the top ways that men are able to siphon men's energy is through you emotionally regulating them. Um, because they can't withdraw really any energy from you to keep them stable. And so what happens is that a lot of men start to panic. And also what happens is that this is also what can cause men to be obsessive because you're not stabilizing them. You're not stabilizing this like addiction that they have from the dopamine that will come from you regulating them. So they're either going to obsess over you or they're going to try to go back to pick Misha a lot of the time. Another thing too, like I said before, um men can like men are one trick ponies. So they really just have like one set of like tools that they use. Like they have like their bag of tools with like manipulation tactics. So they're like, okay, I'm gonna use romance, and then I'll use the chasing tactic, or I'll ghost her, and then I'll use that as the chasing tactic. And then if she chases me, I'll trauma dump on her for her to feel like she should invest in me. Like they have like a script of like the things that they're, gonna use. And so over time, it's only so many women that you can keep using this tactic to before, especially if these women know one another, especially if other women talk. This is the reason why they demonize gossip so much. Oh, you shouldn't be gossiping. You shouldn't be sharing information. It's not gossiping, it's sharing information. Once you share information with enough women, that's why they always have it in the movies. That's why they always have it in the movies when women are together and then they find out like, you're dating Darius. I'm dating Darius too. And then they realize that Darius took them to the same place for the first date. Darius gave them the same lines. Darius gave them the same compliments. Darius was treating everybody the same because they only have one playbook. And the only thing that's in between them getting exposed is just you getting that information from another woman, honestly. And so I say all that to say that the well is going to run dry at some point. Okay, the well is going to run dry at some point, and this is also why, like, when men come to this, they have this come to Jesus moment of regret, and they do reach back out to you. You should never take it as a compliment. You should never really think like, oh, he regrets, that he's no longer dealing with me. It's not even that he regrets not dealing with you because it was something unique about you. He's just regretful of the fact that he can't get access to another woman because, come on, you're playing the same game. You're playing the same game. At some point, women are going to talk. This is why the men were so mad about the T app. I don't know if you guys remember the T app, but it was an app. It actually turns out that it was made by a man. He found out that his mom got catfished and he wanted to prevent that from happening. So he created the T app where essentially women can rate, they rate like by flags, red flag, green flags, and they rate their experiences with men that they post on the dating site. This is the reason why they got so mad about the T app, because once women start talking, you're quickly going to realize they're just all doing the same shit. They may have a few little different tactics here and there. They're just regretful of the fact that they don't have anybody to they don't have any more people to victimize. That's really what it is. They don't have any more people to victimize, and they're banking on the fact that you're going to take them coming back to you as like you feeling special, and him coming to this, realization of, oh, I missed out on a good thing and I didn't know what I had at the time, but I've grown now and I've worked on myself and I'm a better man now. They're gonna, that you heard them say that shit before. I'm a better man now. They wait for that time. They wait for time to come past and they're trying to sell to you like, I've been going to therapy. They love to throw that therapy talk in there. I've been seeing a therapist and I've been working on, my daddy wounds and the fact that my daddy wasn't there and stuff like that. They start I'm sorry. It's just funny to think about because they be trying to pull out all the stops. They be trying to pull out all the stops to tell you what you want to hear. Like one of my exes, he told me that he went to see a therapist and he's like, yeah, my therapist, she told me to do this exercise in which I write a letter to my parents. And I just As you could imagine, I didn't take any of that seriously. I found that Facebook group a while back, "Are We Dating the Same Man?" And the woman really will sabotage each other and bully each other there, being pick me's. Yes. Yes. I'm like, "What the freak, man?" Legally Blonde is my favorite movie. Legally Blonde is my favorite freaking movie. It's my favorite movie because she really did try the pick me route. She really did go to Harvard just to get, she really did go to, was it Harvard or Yale? I can't remember. But she literally went to an Ivy League college, fucking trying to get her ex boyfriend back. And he got engaged to somebody else. And then she was like, "You want to know what? Fuck this. Like, no, I'm going to pave my own way and become a fucking lawyer. And I'm going to show your ass because you think I'm stupid." Yeah, she went to Harvard. Um, and I'm going to choose myself and I'm going to fucking get my lawyer degree. And then, of course, I love how they put the pervy professor in there. I love how they put the pervy professor in there because I like the fact that they also, yes, happy Diwali. I love that they put the pervy professor in there because it really does highlight when women are focused on their education and when women are focused on trying to climb the ladder and use their education, that it completely dispels this rumor of men being like, she slept her way to the top. Women can only sleep their way to the top if a man is offering that up. I mean, are there women out there that are like on the prowl to sleep with a man for an opportunity? Absolutely. But I would beg to differ to say that in most cases, it's going to be the man offering it, making the move more than a woman is on the prowl and on the hunt to make her life easier to try to sleep with a man to move up the ranks. So I love the fact that they put the professor in there that was trying to like, because it's a real life thing. It really is a real life thing. Um, yeah. I'm just like, You know what I mean? Okay. Hold on. Oh, also, I'm gonna post on the spiritual channel because I already have like the script or whatever for it. It took me a little while to write it up because I had to do it for 12 zodiac signs, which took me some time. The next video on the spiritual channel is going to be about like astrology in combination with like the weather and like thinking astrology with like the weather and how the signs implement the phases of like the sun, okay, if that makes sense. So, um, let me think. Let me think of what day I'm gonna do that on. What day am I gonna do that on? I'll probably do it Thursday. I'll probably do it Thursday. Dang, you're still upset about being scammed. I'm so sorry. And I know money is tight right now. I know money is tight right now. So I don't think I would get over being scammed too, or either. It's Queen the Mystic. You can find it. You can find me there, Queen the Mystic. That's a spiritual channel. Um, but the money's gone, girl. The money's gone now. You really do have to you have to leave it in the past. The money's gone now. The money's gone now. Um, I really do recommend you look at High Frequency Guru. She is a content creator that does like subliminal. She does rampages. I posted her content in the Discord. She has really good money subliminals to help rewire your brain and rewire your relationship with money, because that might be what this is teaching you. This situation might be teaching you that you are having an issue with flow, your money flow. And so this situation might be trying to teach you that, because your money is a form of energy, and when you have like stagnation, oh, the problem is that it's my parents' money, I still don't have a job. Your parents' money is your money because they gave it to you technically. So it's your money, but it wasn't like it's your fault. People get scammed all the time. People get scammed all the time, but you'll be okay, I promise. Um, okay, so another thing too, okay? Like I said, men, they want to get a rebound real fast. Like they want to move on to the next person because they don't want to sit in silence. They just keep doing the same shit over and over until they realize their supply runs dry. I call it the hoe clientele. This girl told me that in high school, and I've been using it ever since. She was like, "He's only back because he done ran out of his hoe clientele," and I thought it was just so clever. So once his hoe clientele runs out, um, the man will realize that like nobody really want to deal with his ass, and a lot of the time they want to go back to the woman who they didn't have to put any conditions on him, really. These are the men that are like, I could be myself around you. I hate it when men say that. I could be myself around you. It's like, no, you can't. No, you can't. I'm judging everything. You cannot be yourself around me. So that's why, like, men, this is why I said back to no contact. They want to like old pictures. They want to hope you're doing good. I hope you're doing good, yada yada yada. They want to try to make you jealous. This is why y'all were on that live stream with my ex-boyfriend. My ex-boyfriend wanted my social media. He wanted my social media. He was like, "What social media are you on?" And I'm like, "I'm not going to tell you that." You know what I mean? Like, yes, I reached out to you, but you want to be friends on social media because you wanna stalk me and see what's going on. You know what I mean? I wanna see what's really going on. She said, "I really feel bad. I don't know what to tell my parents." Girl, say we just had a shortage. Say, "Hey, that shortage happened and somebody hacked into my bank account and they took a ton of money." Blame it on the AWS shortage. Especially if your parents are old. If your parents are real, real old, they won't even know what you're talking about. Because, yeah, you're going to have to tell them regardless. That's probably why you're really freaking out. You're probably really freaking out because you're anticipating what your parents are going to say. You're probably anticipating what your parents are going to say. But if your parents are old, if your parents are really old, like where they could get scammed by a text message, just say you got scammed by AI. This AI is looking real more and more every day. Mom, they sent me a video of you, saying that I had to pay them $5,000 or they were going to hold you ransom. And it turned out that it was an AI generated video of you. Like, I'm sorry, I would be blaming it on AI. I would be blaming it on AI. My spiritual channel is Queen the Mystic, but ones that you can look at for like subliminals and stuff like that, you can go to High Frequency Guru. She has like really good stuff. They'll tell me not to buy from the internet again. They are old, but not that old, or maybe not financially support me as much. I mean, you're going to have to tell them at some point. This might be your sign to get a job, girl. This might be your sign to get a job. It may be time, girl. It may be time. But I feel like no matter what, I mean, at this point, you already have your mind made up that they're going to come up with something to say to get rid of your money flow. So if you feel as though that's what's going to happen, you probably should come up with a way to be making money before you tell them. It's AI. It's actually better than any therapist I ever had. Nice. Hey, Queen, I'm learning more about myself and I'm learning I don't do well at all with 9 to 5 office environments. Gained 6 pounds within 3 months. Any advice? I'm planning and working on content. Girl, you're on the right path. Just start making the content. Like, after your 9 to 5, you got to focus on your 5 to 9. So, like, what's going to be the thing that is going to make you money? Like, what skill can you learn? What a value can you give to other people that they would want to pay you money? The biggest thing is that when you're trying to get out of 9 to 5 and you're trying to make money on your own, you have to see a need that needs to be fulfilled. You have to find a need that has to be fulfilled. How are you going to fulfill that need for other people? What is the need and how are you going to fulfill it? That's all you have to do. And an easy way for you to do that is to create your content. So, whatever type of content that you're trying to make, like, finances are hard for people right now. I feel like money is a need for people right now. Stress reduction is a need for people right now. Um, yeah, there are a lot of things that people need right now. So it sounds like you're on the right path, but it's a lot of work. As someone who worked a 9 to 5 and transitioned over to, creating content, and like now I'm doing it full time. And in addition, like if I want to go back to ultrasound and pick up a job real quick, I can, just to like make some money or pay down some debt quicker. I can. Um, but you have to definitely find a need, because the whole point of you making the easiest way for you to make money is to always do things that are going to benefit your target audience. So find your target audience. What do they need? How will you fulfill the need? And you can do TikTok shop. I don't mind. I don't use TikTok shop enough, to be honest. I don't use TikTok shop enough, but that's another good way. You can earn commissions off of there. But I still highly recommend that you have something of value. For context, I worked at Starbucks and I ate all that junk but didn't gain weight. And I noticed it's because I was always moving. I naturally enjoy walking, moving around. So, you want to know what's crazy? So, there's a girl that I do pole dancing class with. She was a nurse. She quit her job as a nurse and she started stripping. Okay, and like stripping isn't really making her any money, but like she does like working with nature. And she was a little bit nervous because she's like, I'm not making any money at the club, like it's not looking good. And then a week later I asked her how she was doing and she's like, I'm doing great. And she told me that she ended up finding a job. She works at like, it's like a farm. She works at like a farm because she likes the dirt, she likes the soil, she has to like move things around and stuff like that. So she got a day job. She got a day job in addition to working at the strip club. So, she was just like, you know what? I'm just going to go on ahead and I'm going to make a way, because she refuses to go back to nursing. She refuses to go back to nursing. So that's what it looks like. Like, that's what it looks like, getting to the point where you no longer want to go back into that timeline where you existed, that you will do everything possible to just not go back into that timeline. So, if you don't like the timeline that you're in with your 9 to 5, if you hate it enough, you'll make a way. So, if you might need a job where you can like move around a lot. Cause see, now that I don't have a 9 to 5, I have to go out of my way to get my steps in now, because just at work alone, I would get about 6K steps a day. I would get about 6K steps a day, but I'm home all day. So, like, I actually do intentionally have to like go set out time to go for a walk. I do have to set out time to like either do that or go to the gym and walk on the treadmill. Like, you know, I have to go out of my way now to do that. Yeah, 9 to 5s are draining everybody because everything is so fucking expensive. So it's like you're draining your energy at work, and it's like, for what? I'm gonna buy a walking pad. I'm gonna buy a walking pad because, to be honest, I don't wanna really leave my house. I don't wanna leave my house. However, I need to get rid of some things. I need to get rid of some things because I need to have my walking pad fit into my car for when I pack up all my stuff and leave here. Because that's another thing too. I need to do a purge. I need to do a purge of everything because I have too much. I have too much stuff. And it's ruining the flow of energy. Honestly, it's ruining the flow of energy. And there are a lot of things that I need to purge, like, especially with like clothes and like overconsumption and shoes and stuff like that. Yeah, I don't really want a whole lot of my things anymore. So I need to do a nice little purge, and then I'm going to get my walking pad. But I can't get anything else before until I clear everything out. You feel me? Um, yeah. So I'm trying to be mindful of that. I'm trying to be mindful of that. And the walking pads, like, they're pretty small. You can store them like underneath the bed, and they're pretty inexpensive. Like, I seen some for like $150. Okay. Um okay, another thing too, okay? Back on the subject of what we're talking about. A lot of men, they tend to go on this like spiral of regret. They tend to go on this spiral of regret because, so what some men will do, a lot of men don't realize that the reason why they were getting attention from so many women, it was because they were in a relationship. It's not until men are no longer in a relationship that they realize, like, oh, like, I don't get as much attention as when I was married or when I was in a relationship. And it's like, yeah, that's because the woman was the one garnering you all that attention. Like, you thought it was you. You thought people were out here liking you for you. You thought women were out here liking you for you and wanting to deal with you for who you are. It's like, no, sir. They were dealing with you. They were dealing with you because the woman that you were with, you had social proof that you were able to get a woman. That's the reason why. Like, let's come back to reality here. You know what I'm saying? So what happens is that once they realize that they're single, they have to come back to earth, and they're like, damn, I really don't have any pull. I really don't have any pull unless I'm in a relationship with somebody. So then that's when they want to come back and be like, oh yeah, I miss you and I've been thinking about you and yada yada yada. And it's like, no, you're just realizing that you can't pull anyone. Like, you can't get any bitches. Like, you can't get any women. Like, like, you didn't really have it like that. You just had social status by being adjacent to a woman. And if you're an attractive woman, that's even more of an increase to his social status. So it's like, calm down, sir. Like, it really wasn't you. Okay, it really wasn't you. It was the woman that you were dealing with. Like, calm down. Calm down. I'm going to post a video later, but this is the reason why I'm so anti giving unattractive men a chance. Like, the harsh reality is this, okay? Women are more attractive than men overall. Okay, this is why men pay money to see us. This is why men pay money to interact with us, because we possess beauty and men don't. Are you going to deal with a man that's like drop dead Henry Cavill, Jason Momoa, um I don't know, Michael B. Jordan? I'm trying to think of all the like races and looks of, like, people that would deem women that would deem a man, unattractive, you know, all of those men. Okay, those men are like rare. Of course, you're not going to find someone that attractive regularly, but I'm not giving a wide waisted, childbearing hip, C cup titties man a chance. I'm sorry. I'm not doing that. I'm not going to pump up a man's ego that looks like that. I'm sorry. I'm not pumping up a man's ego that looks like that. And I'm damn for sure not pumping up a man's ego like that that isn't paying me any money. Because from my experience, men that look like that, they don't desire to put in the work to not look like that. They don't desire to put in the work to not look like that. So they've put in the work in other ways. They've put in the work by getting a whole lot of money. And so they understand that, listen, if I'm going to be walking around looking like this, I better have me some money. Like, I just like it when men just get it. You know what I mean? Like, that's an example of just getting it. A lot of these men have audacity because you're letting them hit when they're wide waisted, they got a booty do, they got ashy lips, they got C cup titties, and they have no money. They have nothing. They have nothing. And you're sleeping with them and you're letting them live under the same roof as them and you're cooking for them and you're cleaning for them and then women are like, where do these men get the audacity? And it's like the women are handing it on a silver platter. The women are handing the audacity on a silver platter because it's like, this man didn't have to come with anything. He came in the negative and like you still gave him everything. And he didn't have to do anything. He didn't even have to look good. He didn't even have to have any money. All these men are coming with is a sob story. And for a lot of women, that's enough. As long as he has a sob story to make me feel bad for him, that's going to be enough for some women. Only person I'm accepting a sob story from and bringing them into my house is a child. Okay. And when I say child, I mean child, like a 5-year-old, a 5-year-old, a 6-year-old. A teen ain't even coming up in this. A teen ain't even coming up in this because I don't know what the teen is up to. I don't know if it's a gang initiation that the teen may be up to. Even then, it's got to be a young child that can give me a sob story that might be able to seek refuge in my home for us to try to figure something out to get them to safety. Hi. Yeah. So that's the first thing. That's the first thing. That's where these men are getting the audacity from because it's like, no. A sob story is never a sob story. I'm sorry. I'm not accepting a sob story anywhere at all. And you shouldn't either. Okay? My ex was a dusty and he had a dusty ass house too. I can't believe I slept there, girl. My ex's place was dusty and I broke up with him right after. I broke up with him right after because he was so. This is another thing too. I've really dealt with men like their home. There was only there's only really 3 men that like I dealt with heavy and like they kept their home looking good and like they put a lot of pride in their home. I'm always really weary about a man who is like not um he don't got to rush me to come over. Definitely not rush me to come over, but it's like it's been like 2 months and you haven't wanted me to come over. And then my last ex, I came over there and I was like, oh, yeah, we're not staying together. We're not staying together. And you're not always coming over here. You're not always coming over here. And I'm not going over there. I'm not going over there because his place looked a mess. One of my other exes, his place didn't look a mess, but he was really insecure about his place because my place looked a lot better than his. But he broke up with me. He already knew he wasn't prepared. He already knew he wasn't prepared and equipped with the money that he needed to live up to my expectations. So he saw himself out. He saw himself out. So one guy invited me over. I'm like, he had like his niece over or something. And I'm like, you could have at least picked up the toys. Like, you got your niece's toys all on the floor and stuff. Like, it takes 30 seconds to pick like 6 little toys up. Like, you could have picked that up. You know what I'm saying? Should have ran as soon as he whined about his dad date one. He was a professional victim. No empathy for anyone else. Gross. He's an ex now. I'm going to do a video on this. This girl did a video on TikTok and she was recording. Mind you, I don't even think they had been on a first date. They hadn't even been on a first date before. And she recorded herself while she's on the phone with this man, while he's on speaker. He's talking about, I mean, just trauma dumping on this girl, trauma dumping on this girl. And they haven't even had a first date. He's talking about how he was married for 10 years. His ex wife cheated on him. The girl asked him for proof. She's like, how did you know that she cheated on you? And he's just giving all these roundabout reasons and roundabout ways. I'm sorry, but in my opinion, there's really no excuse for a man to be giving you a sob story. There's no excuse for men to be giving you a sob story. And I know a lot of men will be like, but we're men and we're allowed to have emotions. Okay, no. When it comes to men, men are only allowed to have emotions when it comes to exploiting women. That's what the issue is. Men are only allowed to have emotions with women when it comes to trying to exploit women for their kindness. Men, their default setting is to not open up with their emotions because they're not even doing that with their friends and their family. So that's how I know that the whole emotions thing, a lot of it is just weaponizing the fact that women are nurturing and women are caring and women are empathetic. Has nothing to do with the fact that you don't have an open space to be emotional, because guess what? You could hire a therapist and you could be as emotional as you want to with your therapist under secrecy. So this is the reason why I don't accept a sob story from a man. Um because I already know that they're trying to use it to try to do some psychological play on me to get me to feel bad for them. And this is another thing. You shouldn't feel bad for men. I've never felt bad for men. I've never felt bad for them. I've never ever felt bad for them because they have their way. They live in a world where they have their way. And then when they explain it to me and they tell me all these things and I start asking, more insight, and I start trying to get more clarity on what they're complaining about, a lot of it doesn't make any sense. It's a lot of holes in the story. It's a lot of holes in the story. Oh, this dragon's blood smells so good. It does. It smells so good. But yeah, it's like I don't have time. I don't have time for that. Mm-mm. Controversial opinion, but I don't care if men get cheated on. A lot of the time, I don't either. I mean, I'll be honest. Um, I don't I don't believe that by nature people are monogamous. In my opinion, monogamy is a social construct. Hi, I believe that monogamy is a social construct. And so when I hear about people harping on cheating, it's just like, I don't think I'm so special that someone is just going to only want to sleep with me and only me for the whole entirety of their life. I'm sorry, cuz guess what? I don't even want to do that. I don't even want to do that. I don't. I'm not saying that I'm just going to be cheating all willy-nilly and stuff like that, but do I long would I did I ever really long to have a life where I'm like, I'm gonna sleep with one person and I'm gonna enjoy it every time and it's gonna be like, I'm sorry, no. I'm sorry, no. Cause the thing about it is that it's more so under the guise of women believing and being told that, like, oh, I'm not going to cheat on you. I think that's where the betrayal comes in. It's just because the actions and the words are not matching. I think that's what hurts women more. Um, obviously cheating is harmful on a physical level too, but I think for women it's more so of a mental thing, and I think for men it's more of a ownership thing. Like, I think women get upset over the lying that comes along with cheating because it's like you're saying that you're not going to cheat. Men get upset when women cheat because it's a reminder that they don't own the woman, that they're not in ownership of the woman. They're being reminded like, I don't own her. And it's like, well, yeah, duh, you don't. Like, what dowry did you pay? What dowry did you pay? She said manager doesn't cheat because she's recruiting other servants. I love that. I love that. That's awesome. And yeah, the social media, you can meet anybody. You could cheat in an instant with a man or a woman or a trans. You got your pick of the litter. You got your pick of the litter on who you could cheat with because of these dating apps. So I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. Okay, so I already have a live stream video on like the return attempt, like when men come back. So we all know this phase very often, when men reappear in your life, when they realize that they can't find someone better than you, or because they don't have access to women at all, they don't have any access to any women. And like I say all the time, it's not a compliment. It's not because they actually like you. They just don't have access to anybody else. That's really what it comes down to. If the last person on earth was a female cockroach, I'm telling you, the man would entertain a female cockroach because that's all that's left. A lot of men would just entertain the female cockroach because that's all that's there. So it should really never be a boost to your self-esteem if a man decides that he wants to re-enter your life and try to get back with you. No. They'll take a corpse. They'll take a corpse if it's the last thing on earth. The Walking Dead is going to happen, and it's going to be a woman coming from up her grave, and she decides that that man is who she wants. You're going to be like, at least somebody want me, even if it is this corpse. I'll take it. Do you have any tips for wearing all white? I'm so messy. I wear white a lot and I don't stain anything that's white. So, if I'm wearing makeup, I don't touch my face. Don't touch my face at all. That way I don't get makeup on me. And then if I'm eating, I don't really bib up. Like a lot of the time, I don't really bib up and like put something like in. I just eat over. Like I eat like this if I'm wearing something white because I don't want to mess up anything. I put makeup on TikTok live stream. I put makeup on TikTok live stream with a white shirt, and they were so impressed that I did not get makeup on my white shirt. They were so impressed. They were like, "Oh my god, how did you do that?" It's just I don't know. I think I'm so used to wearing white because I love wearing white. I'm just so used to wearing it because I don't ever stain anything. A watermelon, that's a good one because a watermelon definitely would get on me. But even then, I think it's because when I eat something and I know that it's going to drip, if I don't have a plate underneath me, I make a plate out of my hand. So like I lean over like this and then I eat whatever it is. That way it can drip on my hand and not drip on my clothing. Like I just think I'm really cognizant of all the ways that something could transfer onto my shirt that I just think naturally because I just don't want to stain my clothes. It's just second nature for me. But I definitely do this. Like I definitely will put my hand there and let whatever I'm eating or even drinking drip onto my hand. I talked about that earlier in the live stream. I talked about that earlier in the live stream, talking about men regretting. And I said it in the live stream. I said that like they don't actually regret losing you. They regret the fact that they don't have access to somebody else, or they don't have access to somebody who will let them get away with as many things. Like the regret is never out of likeness for you. The regret is out of lack of access. That's what it really is. And I talked about them moving on. And I talked about them moving on quickly. I talked about all that at like the very beginning of the live stream. Usually like the first hour, I really can only expand upon one subject for like a good hour. Usually the second hour of the live stream is just like dilly dally stuff. You know what I mean? It's just being silly. I talk about different tactics that you can use on the Patreon, but it's just going to be dependent on your target. Like one thing about women is that women so badly want a one size fits all, and that's not going to work. A one size fits all is not going to work. You must have versatility for you to maximize the amount of money that you can get from men. You must work on your versatility, and you must know how to identify your target and figure out what mask you're going to put on for said target. I talk about that in depth on my Patreon. Because not every man has the same inadequacy. Not every man has the same inadequacy. So, like the damsel in distress, like, I mean, not every man has the hero complex. You know what I mean? Not every single man wants to be seen as the hero. There are some men that are highly insecure that they don't even have enough self-worth to believe that they're even worth being a hero. So if his self-esteem is low and he's insecure, he's not going to see himself as the hero. So you playing the damsel in distress, that's not really going to work. You know what I mean? On someone that's very insecure and that has a low self-esteem, the tactic would be completely different. You know, someone that has a low self-esteem, you have to do more of the art of suggestion. You know what I mean? You have to give them the art of suggestion and tell them who they are when they have a low self-esteem. You have to direct them. Mhm. This woman was on TV. Her husband left her for another woman at 75 years old after 50 years of marriage. Imagine the waste of energy spent on him. This is why when these women are like, we've been married for 12 years, we've been married for 20 years. And in my head, I'm thinking, I'm like, bitch, you have 20 years to go. Bitch, you have 40 years to go. Like women really think that once they cross a milestone for time, that a man will not switch up on them. Like women literally think like once we reach 10 years, I'm locked in. Once we reach 20 years, we're locked in. There are people out here literally getting divorced and realizing that they got cheated on a few years before they hit the grave. Do you think it's going to hurt any less getting divorced after 30, 40 years? You think it's going to hurt any less getting divorced after 40 years than it would getting married after 10 years? Like, no, it's not going to hurt any less. Women like to think that they're locked in. That's why I can't stand it when women are like, we've been married for 20 years. Yeah. And at year 25, you could still get cheated on. At year 30, you could still have this man betray you. At year 40, he could divorce you. Like My dad always told me, he said, when it comes to men, it's always a matter of time. It is always going to be a matter of time. When women are like, I have a good man and I trust this good man, you have a good man for now. You have a good man for now. Until you have seen that man go in the grave, until you have seen that man go in the grave, you only have a good man for now. You cannot predict the good man in front of you to be the good man in the future. You can't. I can't stand it when women do that. Especially now, they said gray divorce is like higher than ever. They said that the gray divorce rate is higher, it's higher than ever. It's like higher than it's ever been. They don't care. The ring didn't mean a thing. Yeah, you never know. This is why when people, when women especially, when women especially have that selling point of time, how much time that they've spent with the man, how many years they've been married to a man. It's like, because my chiropractor did it this morning. My chiropractor uses his marriage as a selling point for him to be trusted so fucking much. My my chiropractor, I'm telling you, every chance he gets, he has to let us know that he's been married for 23 years. His wife makes all the decisions for him. Meanwhile, his wife was a chiropractor with him, and now she's a stay-at-home mom. She's not even working in the practice with him anymore. They built that practice up together, and now it's his practice. He's the only one working, and she's a stay-at-home mom. And I already know that he uses his marriage as a selling point for people to want to trust him more. And don't get me wrong, he's great at what he does. Like, he's great at what he does. However, I could just see people be so impressed. Like, I could see people be so impressed over the fact that he is like married or whatever, and that he's been married for so long. And it's just like, when you read in between the lines and you read the writings on the wall, like, I see exactly what happens. Like, I see exactly what happened. They met, they built their business up from the ground up. She helped him build, and then she gave him babies, and so now he gets to reward her by having her be at home raising the children. Like, she was a whole chiropractor with him in the business. Obviously, she's ambitious. Obviously, she's ambitious. He's definitely a good businessman. He's definitely a good businessman. Like, as soon as, like, he's slick. As soon as I started like going to him, I was just like, I already know what this motherfucker is doing. Like, I already know what he is doing. I already know him trying to like use emotions to play at the heartstrings. So, like, I noticed that he was using like babies and stuff like that with chiropractic care, at the very beginning to try to get people to like sign up to like purchase chiropractic care for him. Like, and it also is probably because I create content. You have to understand psychology to like do well with creating content, because you have to get people's attention and you have to keep people's attention. So that's probably another reason why I know. But like, his whole marketing thing is like Christian, godly man, family man, married man. That's like his whole like shtick or whatever. And I know when he and I know he out there. I just know he wilding. I know he out there wilding. I know he out there wilding. I just know it. But he's really good at what he does. He's super, super good at what he does. I will give him that. He's really good at what he does, but I know what the fuck he's doing. I know what the fuck he's doing, and them old people be eating it up. Them old people be eating it up because he knows that that's his target demographic. He knows that his target demographic of chiropractic people that need chiropractic care are going to be the older generation, a lot of boomers. Those are people that are in religious psychosis. Those are people that, they care a lot about the sanctity of marriage. They're very traditional. That older generation is very, very traditional. And then he with his little spiel about his grandparents being married, and he was talking about his grandfather's illnesses and stuff like that. He pulling on them old folks heartstrings, and he's instilling fear into them because he's painting the picture of, this is how my grandfather turned out. You don't want to be like my grandfather. He was blinded. I already knew what the fuck he was doing. I already knew what the fuck he was doing, but I'm like, listen, if I'm going to you and you're doing it, everybody else is going to be doing it. It's marketing. Fix me, and don't play that bullshit with me, and we'll be just fine. He already know already to not even bring that shit up to me. He already know not to bring that shit up to me. He not ever telling me about his wife or his children or stuff like that. He not bringing none of that stuff up to me because he knows I don't give a fuck. He does all that to his other clients, or if there are younger people that go and that they're married, he'll bring all that marriage and family and bonding stuff up to them. He don't bring that stuff up with me because, sir, just know. Like, just know. He's using the pre-selection effect. Exactly. Is it, and don't get me wrong, does he look good? He looks good. He takes great care of himself. He takes great care of himself. He looks good for his age. He looks great for his age, but I know what the fuck is going on. You know? I know exactly what the freak is going on. My just now ex is suffering in his job. How can he choose the worst job conditions for himself and then be surprised he's suffering because it was paying the most amount of money and he didn't have to go to college in most cases? That's what these dummies don't realize. These dummies are like, oh, yeah, I could be making $50 an hour at the steel mill. I could be making $50 an hour at the steel mill, and I don't have to worry about going to college. Okay, you're gonna be making $50 an hour at the steel mill, and it's not really $50 an hour. I'm just being hyperbolic. Um, you're gonna be making that money, and you're gonna be slaving away, hot, working 60 hours a week. Your back is gonna be fucking broken. You're gonna be tired as hell. Like, you're gonna have all of these health conditions. You're gonna have all of these health conditions. Exactly. He looks good because he has no stress. Yes, because you already know his wife taking care of everything. The wife is taking care of everything. That's why he's like, let's have you just stay home. Let's have you stay home. Cause yeah, my father, he went into the steel mill and he worked in the steel mill for 5 years. And that's the reason why he got out, because he was like, I don't want to have all these health conditions, and I don't want to have all of these issues with my health and with my back. And, like one guy that I dated, he was in laborers union. His brother got a third-degree burn from a laboring job that he was doing. He fell into like some molten thing or whatever. He did. He fell into some molten thing and it burned the fuck out of his leg and he had to get like a skin graft and everything. It was really, really bad. It was really, really bad. Those jobs will pay, but you have to risk your life. And then the thing about it is that you'll have men sit here and be like, men are putting their life on the line to make sure that you do this and to make sure that you do that. And it's like, no, you chose that. You chose that. Nobody told you to go work that laborious ass job. Nobody told you to go work a job where you have to work in 90-degree weather with a hard hat on, with a fucking t-shirt and a vest and all these other things. Nobody told you to go work in the meal where you have to bend your back and pick up all this heavy shit. No one told you to do that. So I don't have to be grateful. I don't have to be grateful when you made the decision to do that job. Like, I don't have to be grateful because they never want to bring up the fact that healthcare is dominated by women. They never want to bring up the fact that you're going to a hospital and who's wiping your ass? A woman. Who's over here putting a catheter in you so that way you can pee? A woman. Do you hear women saying you should be so grateful that a woman is taking care of you and that you're able to get care? Like, women are not throwing that shit in men's faces because women understand that that's the choice. That's the choice of profession that they made. They're getting paid to do a job. I'm not going to sit here and be grateful for the fact that you chose to do a job. You have to do a job. How else are you going to make money? How else are you going to be able to make money without you working a job? You got to choose something. You got to choose something. Yeah, and that's what you're supposed to do. My father worked blue collar and used that money and then went to barber school and then paid for barber school. And don't get me wrong, being a barber, here's the thing. Every job that you do is going to come with something. Like nurses, you have a lot of back problems because they have to pick up patients, the Hoyer lift, all that stuff. Us in ultrasound, we have problems with our wrists from scanning. My father's a barber. He has problems, with his hands and like with his shoulder. He's standing all day. People that work at computers, they can have a lot of eye strain. There's an issue for every single, there's an issue that people have for every single profession. You know what I mean? Social work, psychology, they have a whole lot of mental fatigue. They do. They have a whole lot of mental fatigue from having to hear about people's traumatic experiences, having to be on all the time, having to realize how fucked up the justice system is, that their hands are tied, yada, yada, yada. I mean, something comes with every single profession. So why do I have to hear about men's labor as if every other profession doesn't come along with something? Like there's an engineer that I go to pole dancing class with, and and even he has complaints about being an engineer, and he has complaints about the ergonomic aspect of him being an engineer. You know what I mean? Every job comes with something. I don't want to hear about your body being broken. Okay? I don't want to hear about your body being broken. You better go get a massage. Go get a massage, go get some physical therapy, go take your ass to the gym because that's another thing too. I'll be seeing these construction workers, and these construction workers, they'll have a big old gut, smoking cigarettes, drinking alcohol. They're not active outside of work. It's like no wonder why you're in so much pain while you're at work. You have all of these fucked up habits. You have all of these fucked up habits outside of work. And you're only getting exercise. You're only getting exercise when you go to work, but you're drinking it off and smoking it off. What gives? What gives? Oh my god, the bruising on my thigh is finally going away. Yeah, go be a project manager. They be complaining about, I'm tired of my back and did it. Okay, go be a project manager then. You could still be on site. You could still be on site and you don't have to worry about doing all that craziness. Go set the stuff up and go wear your hard hat and go tell the people what they should and shouldn't be doing. Yes. Like male nurses be getting the fuck paid in psych because you basically are the designated, yes. Pretty much. Yeah, they get paid great. Cause I don't want to hear no man complain about work. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to hear no man complain about work. I just kind of feel like as a man, like you should want to work. You should want to work. You should want to make money. She said, I'm obese, y'all, and losing weight at age 30 ain't no joke. Keep going, girl. Keep going. Because, yeah, it gets harder as you gain more weight. As you gain more weight and then you wait until you're older to lose the weight, it gets harder and harder because your hormones, especially as a woman, the estrogen is just not ever in your favor as a woman as you get older because that estrogen is like, hold on, hold on. I'm trying to hold on to as much fat as possible. And it's like, that's what you have the testosterone for, right? You know what I mean? That's what you have the testosterone for. You should be using your testosterone in moving, the men should be using their testosterone to be moving and be active. Like, I don't know. I want to dance and walk the fat off, but cooking is my downfall, but I've got to do it. Yeah, I remember I seen a video of a man and he actually made a really good point. He actually was saying that it actually is kind of beneficial for women to not know how to cook. Yeah, he actually said that it's beneficial for women to not know how to cook. And the reason being is because when you don't know how to cook, like you could at least just order a delivery service and they can prep all your meals for you and you could just get them delivered. And you don't have to worry about like knowing how to cook where you could cook something that would be unhealthy for you. And he made a very good point because like I know how to cook, but also I'm a lazy cook. Like I could throw down, but I'm too lazy to throw down. Okay. I'm too lazy. I know how to cook, but I'm lazy. Okay. I'm too lazy. So for the most part, what's gonna be my downfall is if I don't have food pre-cooked. That's usually gonna be my issue. Fasting helps a lot, but MFers want to eat every 30 minutes. Just fast ho. I love fasting. Lifting weights does help your estrogen, like having muscle mass can help you a lot with that for sure. I remember telling my ex that someone was hitting on me, and I told him he should be at work like my man is. My ex said he'd take his side because it was out of pocket, just enabling the laziness. Ugh, just terrible. Just terrible. When he came to me, first thing he said was, "Yeah, I do not eat these ingredients." Chow, that would have sent me over the edge. That would have sent me over the edge. I'm scared because I'm hearing you're not supposed to meal prep for so long. What do you mean? Like, you mean the amount of days that you would cook the food, like, out for? Because, like, my cousin, she can't meal prep. She told me, she says she can't meal prep because she'll eat all the food that she prepped. She said, "I can't meal prep." She said, "I'll go in there and I'll eat everything that I prepped." I said, "Okay." So you're the type that I told her to freeze it. That's exactly what I told her to do. I told her to freeze it. I said, "Okay." I said, "Just make like 2 meals and then just freeze one. Just freeze one, and then you should be good." She said, "Girl, I feel like I taste the freezer." Not you won't, if you actually cook it, like you cook it in a pan and not microwave it, it's not gonna taste like the freezer. And just only freeze it overnight. Like, you don't have to put 3 meals worth of stuff in the freezer. You could just freeze it overnight. Make 2 meals, 1 thawed, 1 frozen. Yeah, my cousin says she cannot meal prep. She says she gonna eat all the prep foods. I was like, "Damn." I don't wanna I've never wanted to just go in my refrigerator and just eat my prepped meals. Now that's something I've never wanted to do. That's something I never wanted to do. Y'all, I would make him shop with me and cook with me. Am I wrong for that? Girl, no. All of my exes cooked for me. Like, no, and they never wanted me to really cook for them. If I was hungry and I just happened to be cooking something and I made enough for the both of us, okay, whatever, cool. But one time my ex had asked me to cook for him and he did like the spur of the moment and he invited people over. I cussed his ass the fuck out after that. I cussed his ass the fuck out after that. I was like, "You knew what the fuck you were doing. Don't ever do that shit again. Don't ever do that shit again." And I had just got done working. I cussed him the fuck out. I was pissed. He's like, "Yeah, I told all of my friends that we were going to have a seafood boil. And so I will pay for everything for the seafood boil. I just need you to cook." Ooh, I cussed him clean the fuck out. I was pissed. I was pissed. I wanted to spit in them people's food. I wanted to spit in them people's fucking food. I was so mad. I was like, I said, "I've never done a seafood boil before." He was like, "You could do it." I was like, "I've never even done this before. I've never even done a seafood boil before." I'm like, "I've had them." So obviously I knew where to gain inspiration from on like what to do. I'm over here looking up, I'm over here looking up YouTube tutorials on how to make the sauce and how to mix up all the sauces together. I was so mad at him. He never did that shit again either. He never did that shit again either. Cause I cut up. I cut up. So while his friends were over, I went in the bedroom and I called one of my friends and I was going off. And I know his friends had heard me. She said it's easy, but I was making the sauce. So you know how they have like the different sauces or whatever where you can do like the heat level and you could do like lemon garlic and then you can do like Cajun and stuff like that. I wanted to make sure that I knew how to like do the sauce. And so I just made the sauce on my own and it ended up turning out really, really good. But after working a shift, and it was an extra shift that I picked up. Ooh, I was angry. I was so angry. He spraying that on me after. No. I don't care. I don't care if that motherfucker asked me to make a round of grilled cheeses. I don't care if that motherfucker asked me to make some hot pockets. Don't you tell me or ask me, not even ask me. Don't bombard me with that shit after I just worked the shift and you want me to cook for multiple people? You want me to cook for a ton of grown ass fucking men? Oh no. I was pissed the fuck off. I don't care if he asked me to make peanut butter motherfucking jelly sandwiches. I was pissed. He was like, he was mad too because I had an attitude. I had an attitude with his friends too. And he was like, his friends brought it up too. His friends brought it up too because I wouldn't eat with them or anything. I wouldn't eat with them or anything. I had an attitude. I said, don't ever. I made sure I ruined that experience for all of them so he would never have to ask me to do that shit ever again. I ruined that experience for all of them. They were like, "You don't wanna eat with us and, like, kick it with us or whatever." Child, I slammed the door in their faces. I went in the back room to call my friend, I slammed the door in all their fucking faces. I was like, "No." I showed out in front of all of them. They were like, "What's wrong with her? Why is she so mad?" Like, "No. Uh-uh. Mm-mm." And that's when our relationship just crumbled. Our relationship crumbled after that because I'm like, "No." Like, "No." Cause see, this is the thing. Occasionally, he would have, like, events, like icebreaker events at his place. He would have icebreaker events at his place because like he was launching a business. And so he would bring like his friends and like visionaries and stuff like that. And he would talk about like what they're working on for like his business and stuff like that. So I would like host those, but I would never cook. So he would always get pizza and like lemon pepper wings. If anyone's from Chicago Herald's, yeah. So we would get pizza and we would order some Harold's wings because I'm not cooking. I'm not fucking cooking. But I did want to, make sure everyone had like some liquor. So like one time I did like offer to like make an alcoholic beverage. And then guess what? I totally ruined the alcoholic beverage. And so no one was able to have any alcoholic beverages. And my ex was mad too. I think I was just sabotaging shit on purpose. I think I was just sabotaging shit on purpose. I was like, yeah, he was like, why would you offer? He was like, why would you offer to do something for you to mess it? He was pissed. And then I blamed it on him. It was so funny. I know he was sick of me. I know he was sick of me because I screwed up the ratio. I screwed up the ratio between like the ice and the alcohol because it was supposed to be like this slushy type of drink or whatever. And the shit came out like ice. It came out like water. It came out way wrong. The ratio that I used was all fucked up. And I blamed it on him. I just kept blaming it on him and like was never accountable or anything. And he was like, why would you offer to make this if you weren't gonna do it right? And how is this my fault? Like when I tell y'all, I was insufferable. I was insufferable. I was insufferable. The things that I put that man through, oh my God, he turned me into a whole different person. Like, I got quiet. I don't know if y'all remember when I posted that video of that woman. That woman let that man with childbearing hips come into her home and live with her, and he bit her. In my head, I was like, not too much on him biting her. Not too much on him biting her because I bit that ex. I took his hand and I bit his Not so much that I caused nerve damage. I'm not that crazy. I didn't cause no damage, but he pissed me off so much. I literally started screaming at him. I started screaming at him and I took his phone and I threw his phone. And then I grabbed his hand. I remember I snatched his hand and I bit it right here. I bit it right here. I was crazy. When I tell you I was crazy, and he just let me do it. He just let me do whatever I wanted to. I would just be blaming everything on him and just cussing him out. It was terrible. But yeah, I did. I actually bit his hand, not his finger. I bit his hand. I made sure I bit it where it was like kind of fatty. That way I couldn't like harm him that much. I bit it where it was like some meat and I bit it right here. Yeah. He was insane. He was insane. And my fuse, oh my lord, my fuse was so short. My fuse was really, really short. It still is kind of short. I'm not even gonna lie. Except now I just zone out. I just zone out and not do anything crazy. But back then when I didn't know how to emotionally regulate, oh, I just used to lash out at everyone and like cuss everybody out and like go crazy. And yeah, he loved it. He loved every minute of it. He would be like, he would always complain about like how I wouldn't be accountable and how I just would do whatever I would want to do and how he could never like he would never get away with like doing all those things and he would just yeah, he would always like talk about like my behavior or whatever and then he would just let me keep doing it. So, I just never really cared. I just never really cared. So I was like, well, and the harsh reality is that when the man is attracted to you and they think that you're pretty, child, they don't care what you do. Honestly, they don't care what you do. You could do whatever you want to and they don't care. They don't care. And he used to annoy me so much. He was used to annoy me so much. I hated the way that he's saying, you know how cats are? Okay, I feel like I'm the way that cats are. Have you ever seen those videos of cats? Thank you for the super chat. You can cook me boiled water and I'd be satisfied, ma'am. I don't mind biting either. Thank you. You know how when cats they listen to people that sing really bad and they get annoyed and they can only take so much and they like attack their owner. Oh my God. He would sing and he would sing obnoxiously and he would like add all these like riffs and runs and like all of this extra shit to this music and he would just ruin the music and it used to drive me crazy. It used to drive me crazy and I swear to God, I'd be like it would take everything in me to just not want to like scream and like choke him because oh my gosh, like I couldn't stand him. Hearing him sing, hearing him sing would just do something. It would make me want to go freaking postal. It was terrible. I'm a singer and I'm extra as hell. I'm sorry. And I don't know why. I don't know why people that sing extra gravitate toward me. The people that are super extra always gravitate toward me because that's how one of my friends was. That's how one of my friends was. Oh my God. It would be like 8 o'clock in the morning, and I'm over here like, I'm trying to have a slow morning, wiping my eyes and she's up hooting and hollering at 8 o'clock in the morning, hooting and hollering. I'm like, what the freak is going on? It's 8 o'clock. Like, I don't know why the people that be hooting and hollering love dealing with me. they be hooting and hollering. And I'm like, "Chow, you remind me of my BFF when I was 10." Like, I need coffee first. I do. I need coffee first. And so then it would get to the point where I felt like my ex, he could tell that I would get annoyed. So I felt like at one point he would like start doing this to annoy me. Like he knew that he could get a reaction out of me doing it. So then guess what I did? I just started doing it. I started taking songs, like his favorite songs, and I would just start butchering them. I would just start butchering the songs. I would just start screaming and hooting and hollering and getting on his nerves back because I'm like, clearly you're doing this to get a reaction out of me. He's like, "Man, why are you singing the song like that? Why are you ruining the song?" And it's like, "Sir, I have to hear you. I have to hear you screaming and hooting and hollering these songs as well." So guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna do the same thing. Oh my god, y'all. Speaking of Jennifer Hudson. So this is what's crazy. So there was a video that I seen on TikTok. And there was a girl that said that it was a white girl, and she said that she grew up with a father that was racist. So, like, her father would not allow them to watch any black shows. So, like, she couldn't watch That's So Raven. She couldn't watch The Proud Family. She couldn't watch any of those shows. And so, I guess, like, her father started to realize, like, okay, this is kind of messed up that, like, I'm doing this to my daughter. I probably should like let her get the black experience. And so it was her birthday. And so he let her pick whatever movie it was that she wanted to watch. Why? Because he said that black people were loud and he said that he couldn't stand black people that were loud. Guess what movie she picked? Guess what movie she picked? She picked Dreamgirls. She picked Dreamgirls, where the whole entire movie is him hooting and hollering, and he's complaining about how loud black people So he sat through that. He had to sit through that whole movie. He had to sit through that whole movie of black people hooting and hollering. She picked the best movie. She picked the best movie because the whole movie is loud. Like having like Jennifer Hudson is already enough. Jennifer Hudson is already a fuck enough, but then you add Beyonce, like Beyonce and Jennifer Hudson enough, like like what? All that hooting and hollering. But I swear to God, oh my God, my ex was like Jennifer and he was like Jennifer and Beyonce combined. He just would be hooting and hollering. He would take like a Sade song. This is what would kill me. He would take like a Sade song and he would like add like these obnoxious ad libs to the Sade song. And like, Sade is like mellow, she has like that like raspy voice and like No Ordinary Love is playing and she's like, I keep crying. I'm like, oh my God, why are you butchering the song? Like, you're totally messing up the aura. He was so obnoxious. He was so obnoxious. He was so obnoxious. Like, he used to get on my damn nerves. He used to get on my goddamn nerves. Or he would take like hip hop songs. He would take like hip hop songs and he would sing and do like extra things on hip hop songs. I'm like, all you're missing is a wrist flick at this point, sir. All you're missing is a wrist flick because what is going on? Okay, why are we doing all of this? Oh my God, he was obsessed with Bobby Brown. He was obsessed with Bobby Brown. So his family would actually do um they would do like a talent show. That's what it was. His family would do a talent show. And so him and his cousins for their talent, I think they were New Edition, like, they did, like, 2 groups. So I think they had, like, first started off with New Edition, and then I think they also had did, like, a Belle Biv DeVoe song, but in, like, the talent show or whatever, he was fucking Bobby Brown in the talent show. Like, men that are extra, I always attract men that are extra. Always. I always attract men that are extra. Like the quiet spoken, soft spoken ones, no. No, the ones that I attract, they gotta give diva every time. They gotta give diva every time. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. And that's when I started questioning myself, and I'm like, maybe I'm attracting all of these DL men. Like I started thinking deep. He wasn't a theater kid, at least not to my knowledge. He never told me that he was. He was never a theater kid. He was in band, but he played the drums. He played the drums in band. And I was a band geek too, but I played the clarinet and I was actually the theater kid. I was actually the theater kid. I actually was in musicals. I was in musicals since I was like in pre-K. So I was actually the theater kid, and like he was just so much more obnoxious than me. He was so much more obnoxious than me. You've got that big mask energy, me too. Like, chow. I was like, oh my God. They feel our power. I always direct the extremes, extremely loud and emotional, or so stoic, close off and quiet that I have to initiate everything. It's like, what the freak? And then I had one ex, he didn't know what he wanted to be. He he didn't know what he wanted to be. He had a different personality every day. He did. He had a different personality every day. I'm like, "Chow, what is going on?" Like, like what's going on? I dated a guy for years who was so emotionally underwhelming. He was the definition of gaslighting. It's like when they don't say anything, when they don't say anything, like they always want to be my pet, but then they get diva. Like, calm the fuck down and eat your Cheerios. I swear, we need to meet up in Florida so I could say some shit for you and be extra, and you're gonna like it. You're gonna whip out some Jennifer Hudson. You're gonna whip out some Jennifer Hudson, and you're gonna have like a designated microphone because they have like those karaoke microphones now. They have like the little set where you can do karaoke with like your own little box. You're gonna come with one of those. Because I don't know what it is. Men love singing to me. Men love singing to me. Like this old sugar daddy that I had. He was trying to get his Luther Vandross on. His old ass, his 60-year-old ass singing to me. I'm like, oh my God. I figured you had your own mic. I was like, you definitely have your own mic. I could already see it. Is a man gay if he doesn't like to go down like ever? I always deem that as them being gay. Give me a second. Give me 2 seconds. Okay, I'm back. I listen, I deem them as them being gay. That's weird to me. That's weird to me. I had a theater kid. I do have a thing for theater kids now that I think about it because like one of my like a big crush that I had when I was in high school, he's married now. He's married to a white woman. Um he was a theater kid. He was a theater kid and like he used to sing to me. He used to sing to me all the time and that was nice, but like I didn't realize that it was going to be like a lifelong thing and then we're just going to keep singing to me. Not to be stereotypical, but the singing man child is DL. What could it be? Oh, and another thing, I always attract, do get my gay crush hypes. I always attract men that were wrestlers. And I think it's because I like men that are short. And normally, men that are short, like they're too small for football, they're too short for basketball. They are black. And so obviously, like, there's no soccer around because most black men don't play soccer. Black men typically don't want to play baseball. And so a lot of them will end up that I dealt with, they will go to wrestling. And I kind of feel like wrestling, like, you're climbing on top of other men. Like, it don't get no more contact sport in my opinion than wrestling. And so I just started wondering, I'm like, I'm probably attracting all of these DL men because I mean they are climbing on top of one another. Because I do like short men. Yeah, but, short men that are cancers. I literally just attract the same people. I just attract the same people. But I'll take requests for people to sing to me. If you want to sing to me, feel free to sing to me. But yeah, I had to think a little bit because the last guy that I dealt with, I was like, dang, like he actually was a wrestler and he coaches wrestling and he's a cancer. And then I had another ex-boyfriend, same thing, was a wrestler. He also was a cancer, but cancer's on the opposite side as me in astrological sign for sun sign because I'm a Capricorn. Um and so I kind of feel as though like I just have so much daddy energy. I have so much daddy energy that like they want they want the daddy energy. Okay? They want the daddy energy because Capricorn is the father and Cancer is the mother. They like the daddy energy. Yeah, they're way more emotional. They're way more emotional than I am. That's why I'm like, I feel like the cancers that I dated, like they probably were I was probably the closest thing to a man that they could get in a woman. Nah, but average men like me, it's always slim guys or buff ones. I'm a big bitch and they always the ones trying. They always want somebody opposite of them. They always want someone off opposite of them because that's what I find too. I feel like really slim men, they actually want women that are like the complete opposite, like that are thicker than them and bigger than them and taller than them. I don't know. I don't get it. I That's why when it comes to type, I'm like, I'm really not convinced that they have like a type. I just kind of feel like they see what they see and they just like what they see. And if they have access to what it is that they like, then like there you go. But that's the reason why I don't feel like they have like any standard, because they're not all fitting the box of like what the woman should look like, or that they say that the standards that men should have. Like, because I always see like my ex friend, she's thick, and her ex boyfriend was skinny. Her ex boyfriend was skinny as hell. He was super skinny. Oh, average men don't like me. I mean, oh, who wants the anxious man energy? Queen has so much big daddy energy. Thank you. But yeah, I kind of just feel as though like they really do like that daddy energy. Like they really do like that boldness. Um, they do. They really do like that boldness. And because even the cancer guy will always want me to like dominate him in the bedroom. Like he would always want me to like dominate him in the bedroom and like take control like in the bedroom. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I don't know. They like the father, the daddy energy. I'm an Aquarius. Cancer men and I are super compatible, but don't feel like being the big daddy boss all the time. Yeah. She said I'm done being gay AF, y'all. Girl, you don't have to stop. You can keep being gay. You can keep being gay. But you want to know what though? This is what's crazy. This is why I'm a firm believer. This is why I'm a firm believer in um believing that men that make money and men that give their money to women, really anyone that gives their money to women, it actually is, it's always going to be a reciprocal. Because okay, so believe it or not, so there's a girl on TikTok and like I'm attracted to her. Like on the last live stream, so I told you guys that they're like the largest, like the highest crush, like the man that I was attracted to the most was actually Black and Filipino, y'all. So my phone probably was listening to me because there was a girl that came up on my For You page on TikTok, and she's Black and Filipino, and she's a lesbian. She looks younger than me, and like I tend to not like women that are younger than me. I would prefer to deal with women that are older than me. But she's gorgeous. Okay, she's fine. Okay, her name's Lady Suave. If you have TikTok, her name's Lady Suave, and I think the S is a dollar sign. I'm assuming she's Black and Filipino, but she's definitely Blasian. You definitely could tell that she's Blasian, and she's gorgeous. She's gorgeous. She was on TikTok live, and so I gifted her like $20 worth of gifts. I gifted her like $20 worth of gifts. It Look, Jessica gifted me a $20 super chat, and like I got a few more super chats. Like I'm a firm believer that like women, like when you give women things in abundance, it's just always going to return back to you. Like in some form or fashion, it's just somehow always going to return, because I feel as though you don't really like women if you don't want to spend money on them. Like I like women, like I'm attracted to them. I think women are beautiful, and like I like giving women money. Like I like giving women money. Like I want to let the energy flow to women because I actually like them. And like that's the reason why I don't tolerate men that don't give me money, because it's like I give women money. Like I have no problem giving women money and like doing things for women, and like because I genuinely like women. You know what I mean? I genuinely like women. And so when men talk about how like stingy they want to be, and they want to talk about like, oh, I'm not going to do this for a woman, and I'm not going to spend I'm not going to spend X amount of money on a woman, and it's like, well then you don't like women. Then like you don't like women. There's no way, because No, like I have no problem spending money on women. It's never been a question in my mind to spend money on women. It's never. It's never. And when I make it big, when I make it really, really big, I promise I'm gonna be giving money to women left and right because women are abundant. Like we can create life. Like we hold the seed of life. We hold the seed of life. So when you water and nurture and give us sunlight, we will grow. We will really, really grow and we will like give you even more things in abundance. You know what I mean? All you have to do is just root, plant, and stabilize and nurture, and then boom, like you're gonna like I was even talking about the strip club earlier. I loved having customers that were women. I loved having customers that were women. They would spend the most money on me. I would have the most fun time with them. Like I genuinely like would enjoy my time having the women that would pay me money at the strip club. And they would spend so much money. Like, I'm sorry. Like the feminine energy, the energy of women, like I've just always enjoyed it. I've just always enjoyed it better and more than the energy of men. Like I just don't enjoy the energy of men that much. Like I'm not I'm just not interested. Their energy is just not something that like I long for. I just like the energy and the essence of a woman way more. Like way, way, way more. She said I dated an older married woman and she could take all my money and my money be looking like this, just flying away. Yeah, like I just kind of feel like how I just don't understand how you could look. I just don't understand like looking at a woman and like not wanting to spend money on her, especially one that men claim that they are attracted to. You're not attracted then if you don't want to spend money. I'm sorry because I can't look at a woman that I'm like, dang, she looks good and I want to spend money on her. That's insane to me. Absolutely insane to me. It just doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense. I think I might just work at a strip club for this semester because I love hyping up the dancers. Like I genuinely like women. Yeah. Like I'm telling you, you can't be friends with women at the strip club because that's the thing too. At least in my experience, like the women that so there was one, no, there were two girls that I became friends with, and they actually had came from the same club to my club that I had been working at. And I was friends with the both of them. And then one of them, oh my gosh, she ended up like really liking me. She ended up really, really liking me, but then she had a boyfriend and it was super confusing. And then I kind of felt like she was giving off the vibe to her boyfriend that she liked me. And then the boyfriend was like trying to compete with me. It was getting weird. It was getting so weird. I was like, I don't think I could be friends with you anymore. I'm not trying to be a part of a love triangle. You know what I mean? And I always make sure, like, when I go to the strip club, like, I be looking to embarrass these men. Like, I be looking to embarrass these men when it comes to like the amount of money that I will spend on women. Like, I want these men to be like, what? Like, this woman is up here spending all this money? Like, yeah, like, mm-mm, mm-mm. Because that's the thing with me. It's just like, sometimes with women, it just really can be the obsession aspect. And I'm like, oof, ooh, ooh, ooh. Because sometimes the girls will just end up liking me, like actually liking me. And then, yeah. And then I'm like so confused because I'm like, I thought you had like a boyfriend or you were dealing with another person. Like, I didn't even know that we were on those vibes. You know what I'm saying? So I danced in Illinois and I danced in Indiana. I danced in the Midwest. I have no, those are the only states that I've danced in. So I'm not really familiar with any other state because I never like traveled to dance. I just stayed dancing like where I was locally. I just don't have time. I just don't have time for a love interest. I really don't. I don't have time for a love interest right now. Um, yeah, I don't have time for a love interest. One day once I get my life together. One day once I get my life together, but yeah, it would be cool, but I don't have the time to give somebody. I really don't. I don't have the time to give somebody. I can't even stick to a plan to hold to keep to hang out with somebody, let alone like a relationship. I wouldn't be a very good girlfriend. I brought 1,000 and my guy was so pissed, like, dude, they would get off the stage and come straight to me. Yes, because it's like these men don't understand. Like, these women are at work to make money. They're not gonna sit here and come to you because like they think you're cute. They're gonna go to where the money is. They're at work. Like that's what these men don't understand when they go to strip clubs. You're coming to a woman's job. You're coming to a woman's job and you are the way that she could potentially be getting paid. If you're not showing any indicator that she can get paid from you, why would she walk up to you? Like, even a girl, honestly, even a girl, because I've thought about it, but I'm just, I'm still in the hermit phase of my life right now. I am. I'm still in the hermit phase of my life right now where it's like I'm just very much isolated. I don't really have a whole lot to see and offer somebody right now. I don't know how long my hermit phase is going to last, but it's not going to last forever. Maybe then I'll start taking it differently, you know? Do you think anyone is attracted to an obese girl who is actively shrinking? Like, I'm cute, but the double chin makes me feel like I need to just be alone. If you feel like you need to be alone because you have a double chin, you it sounds like you have a self-esteem issue in regards to your weight. And so me personally, I think that you should be alone and work on your weight because you in my this is my opinion, right? Can you get rid of all your insecurities? No. But the insecurities that you have control over and you can reduce them, I feel as though I don't want that in the back of my head for me to have control over it and for me to be looming in the back of my head. Like if I had a double chin and I was concerned about somebody seeing my double chin, like I would talk to somebody like this. I literally would talk to somebody like this. Because I would constantly be thinking about it. I would constantly be thinking about, are they gonna know it? You know, I would wear a turtleneck or something. You know, I would just be freaking out about those type of things. And so that takes a lot of energy for me. That takes a lot of mental energy to have that looming in the back of my head. I rather just get rid of anything that would make that be a thought in my head. So me, I'm going to get rid of the double chin. I'm going to go to the gym and I'm just going to get rid of the double chin because I don't want to talk to anybody like this. I don't want to have to go buy turtlenecks. I don't want to be like, what are you thinking? You know what I mean? Like I don't want to be on this roller coaster of hiding my chin and thinking and having to think about my double chin. You know what I'm saying? That's just what I think for me personally. Um yeah, but that's just me. Cause whether I'm dating or not, I want to like the skin that I'm in. Point blank period. dating or not dating, I want to like the skin that I'm in. And so I kind of feel as though that should always be your goal. Whether you care about someone being attracted to you or not, you owe it to yourself to like the skin that you're in. You know? Mhm. Cuz there are plenty of I mean, there are plenty of people that I know. There are plenty of people that I know that they don't mind big girls. They like big girls. I know plenty of people, they prefer big girls. I was big at one point. I was big at one point and I didn't have no shortage of men. I'll tell you that much. I was big and I had no shortage of men hitting on me, trying to take me out, trying to talk to me. Yeah. No, I had no issue with that. She said, I'm ready to finally be alone. It feels like the minute I'm in the flow, a man pops up. Girl, that's because the devil trying to test you. Whenever you're content and whenever you feel as though like you're ascending and life is good and you're like, yeah, I'm ready, girl. The devil's like, y'all remember that meme? Y'all remember that meme with the black guy in the yellow suit? Hold on. Hold on. I'm about to add it. I'm about to add it. Yeah, so whenever you are like on your path and you're doing your thing or whatever, um add to sage. That's when this guy is gonna come around, seeing you on your self-love journey, rubbing his hands, ready to come ruin your life because he sees you doing well. He's rubbing your hands, he's plotting on you, he's like, yeah, yeah, she's looking good. She's not letting herself be distracted by no Dusty. She's elevating and doing what she needs to be doing. It's time. I'm ready. I rubs hands like Birdman, and that's when they're ready to attack. That's when they're ready to attack. As soon as they stay out there waiting. She said, I was tempted by the devil last night and I took the bait. Girl, hopefully, she said it was worth it. Well, that's good. That's good. She said it was worth it. Well, I love that for you. As long as it was worth it. As long as it was worth it. Because, child, how long have I've been celibate for 7 months. I've been celibate for 7 months. And whenever I think that I want to break my celibacy, I just think back of the last situation when I broke my celibacy and I'm like, nope, nope, not happening. Not happening. Mm-mm. I will not. I'm not letting that happen again. I'm not letting that happen again. My celibacy was broken in 2 minutes. My celibacy got broken in 2 minutes. Probably a total of 20 pumps. 2 minutes and a total of 20 pumps. That was all it took for me to lose my celibacy. I was like, bruh, this is crazy. This is crazy. So I just like to think about that. I like to think about that. And then once I think about that and remember what happened when I broke my celibacy, I was like, I'm like, you wanna know what? Forget about it. I'm not even gonna. No. Yeah, I can't reverse it. And then the thing about it is that once that happens, I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna just go be a hoe again then. And you can't afford to be a hoe in this economy. You can't afford to be a hoe with what they're doing with our reproductive rights. Okay, because that's what happened the last time I broke my celibacy. I was like, you want to know what? I might as well go back to being a hoe. And I did. I was like, I'm gonna just go back to being a hoe and at least keep searching until I can get somebody that knows what they're doing. So now I'm like, nope, I'm not gonna do anything. I'm not gonna do anything because if it doesn't work out the way I want it to work out, I can't even use hoeing as a sedative. I can't even use hoeing as a sedative if it doesn't work out the way that I want it to work out. So that's why I'm like, you want to know what? I'm just gonna not even partake. I'm not even gonna partake because it's too risky. It's too risky. It is. It's way too risky. I was celibate for 5 years, 4 years, 3 years before it was cool. Then I realized S work was actually goddess worship. Girl, that's why I liked stripping so much. Like, I don't know, like the amount of like energy that you harness, the amount of energy that you harness when you are in S work, it just I can't explain it. I can't explain it. You like gain a superpower. Honestly, you gain a superpower when you're not working from a place of lack and you're not working from a place of trauma. When you go in a let me say SW because I don't want them to demonetize the video, but when you're coming from a healed place and like you understand why you're doing this and like the reasoning behind it, hands down, like dancing in the club, it definitely was one of the most powerful times like that I had in my life. And I was just able to just flow through life so easily, especially when it came to men, because it was just all this power that I was able to harness by like really, really having these men like bend to my will and like worship me and like give me money and like it just felt so nice. Like I just wish every day could be like that. Like I just wish every day I could just go outside and men could worship me and just give me their money. Like that's the utopia. That's the utopia that I'm trying to create. Like you just wake up one morning and a man's at your door. He don't even got to spend the night, but a man knocks at your door and he like gives you breakfast and he comes in and he makes your coffee and he gives you a massage like while you're eating your breakfast and he like and you have another one that's like massaging your feet, like that would just be amazing. Like telling you how beautiful you are. You know what I mean? What outfit we're gonna wear today? That's the world that I want to live in. That's the world that I want to live in. Now it's time for us to go. He's gonna walk me out. He's gonna walk me out of my place. He's gonna hop in the car, drive the car. I live in Houston where HIV is out the roof. Got to be so careful. Not worth my life. That's another thing, too. The STDs are rampant. They're so, so, so rampant. And like, I don't trust these men even with the Jimmy hat on. Okay. I don't trust these men even with the Jimmy hat on. These men will stealth you in a minute. Like, these men will stealth you in a minute. I'm terrified. Like, I'm terrified. That's why I'm like, no. Between STD, pregnancy, having to force having a pregnancy, if like it's there's just too many options for me to weigh personally for me to even like want to sleep with any of them. Like, no. It's it's a big risk. It is. It's a really, really big risk at this point. And depending on where you live, it's an even bigger risk. I can't. I just can't do it. I just don't have it in me to do it. I'll just stay celibate and have peace of mind. Okay. I'll just stay celibate and have peace of mind because, uh I'm not trying to be in a situation that I cannot get myself out of. Mm-mm. Hold on, someone sent me this video. They put part 3 of throwing my husband a cheater themed party or birthday, cheating themed birthday.
Someone else who likes to hear themselves talk. Wow. Does that jog any memories for you? Does it jog any single?
She gave her boyfriend a gift, and the gift is a picture. It's a picture of him on a dating website. It was her boyfriend's birthday and she caught him cheating, and she gifted him with a portrait of him on a dating app.
That becomes my business. You're my husband, and you're out there.
Oh, it's not even her boyfriend; it's her husband.
Literally matched with someone last week. You literally matched with someone last week. Mind my business. Yeah, I don't think so, bud. I do not think so.
Then he told her, mind your own business. He said, this is why you should mind your own business. This is why I'm always going to say, dude, men don't care. This is why I tell women all the time. This is why I tell women all the time. You want to know what? When women are like constantly looking at themselves to figure out what's wrong with them in relation to a man, I always tell women, just blame it on the man. Just blame it on the man. Like anytime you question yourself in regards to a man, just blame it on him. Just blame it on them. I'd be quick to blame it on these men. Like, you want to know what? He doesn't want to spend money on me because he's gay. You know, he's controlling because he's trans. You know, he's so mean and angry because he's poor. You know, I just blame it on them. I just pick something and I'm like, yeah, it's their fault. Oh my God. One time I had a patient, he was pissed. One time I had a patient, the guy was like 50 something, and he came in for an ultrasound. And it was I had to look at his spleen, and they gave the reason for mono. It's very interesting that you said that. He was pissed. He was like, I had no idea that you could get mono, you know, at the age that I'm at now. And he was pretty much talking about how like he dated this girl, and I'm not gonna lie, dude, talk about women in male fields. So he said that he was talking to this girl and he had explained to her that like he already has like health ailments and stuff like that, and so that could like get in the way of a few things or whatever. And so essentially the woman gave him mono and then broke up with him because she said that his health issues were too much. And so that's what landed him getting an ultrasound from me, because the woman gave him mono. The woman gave him mono knowing that like he had all of this like health shit going on. And he was pissed. He was pissed. Because when you get mono, it can enlarge your liver. It can enlarge your liver. So his liver was enlarged from the mono. Dancing, stripping doesn't feel like goddess worship lately. I don't know how to fix that. Any advice, queen? Maybe you could try some ritualistic stuff before you get ready at the club. Like maybe you could do some glamour magic stuff with like your makeup and your clothes to kind of like summon some goddess energy on you. You could try that. Um Maybe you could put like a cute little like rose quartz situation. If you have like a money bag or something like that, you could put that on your person. That's what I would try to do. I would look at some spells. For me, when I'm in doubt, I just do a spell. I just always go to spell work. I might have made a big mistake the other night. I just got tested a few hours ago. Always get tested. Make sure you always get tested 3 months too. Um, getting married immediately, or not getting married, being active immediately with someone and then getting tested. If it's something that's like permanent, it could take a little bit longer for it to be detected in your bloodstream. So, if you get tested immediately, make sure that you get tested 3 months after, because sometimes if you do it too soon, it'll come up negative, but it only came up negative because it wasn't in your bloodstream long enough for it to be detected by a blood test. He married me as a cover story. Child, I would have killed somebody. Like, this is another reason. So a lot of people will ask me, like, why I don't want to date, why I don't want to date men specifically, why I'm not looking to get married. And the reason being is because I'm really good at keeping promises to myself. I'm really good at keeping promises to myself. And my last ex-boyfriend, before I got into that relationship, I was like, listen, if I have an issue with this ex-boyfriend, I'm not dating another person after this. Like, I'm not dating another person after this. And yeah, that relationship didn't end the best. It did not end the best at all. And I'm kind of at the point where it's like, if I get into another relationship, there's just one more betrayal. Like, honestly, I'm at the point where I have one more layer of betrayal, and the next one is gonna be like, it's gonna be a top tier level crash out. Like, it's gonna be a top tier level crash out where, like, I would be going to jail. And so I don't want to do that. And so that's the reason why I'm not dating. I'm not going to date a man, because I just know that at some point there's going to be some betrayal. There's going to be some betrayal. And with how vicious these men are, depending on the level of betrayal, I'm gonna be in jail and I'm gonna be getting out on bond, or like I'm just gonna be locked up and I'm gonna be on trial for, I'm gonna be on trial for taking someone's life. That's kind of where I'm at. And so this is like the reason why I just don't deal with anybody. Okay. I just don't deal with anybody because I've just kind of reached my peak. I've reached my peak of betrayal. And the thing about it is that compared to other stories that I've heard, I haven't went through a fraction of the things that I've heard about. And I get angry just from hearing those stories. I just get angry from hearing the stories of what other women tell me. I want to find the person that hurt them and like end it all for them. So definitely I definitely don't know how I would be able to handle someone doing those same things to me, and like just not wanting to just ruin everything. Ruin everything. And to be honest, I'll be completely honest, the way that this world is going, like, honestly, the way that this world is going and the way that things are looking, child, people are losing more and more, which means that they have less things to lose. It's getting to the point where it's not going to take much nowadays. It's not going to take much nowadays for people to just completely fly off the edge and like really have a strong reaction to things that would normally just, you would expect someone to kind of brush off, because people are frustrated. Okay, people are frustrated. Okay, the world is kind of trying everybody, and so it's just like don't push me. You know what I mean? People are already on edge. Like when that man just said, that's why you should have decided to mind your own business or whatever. Oh, girl, yeah, I would have started strangling him. I would have launched, I would have launched the phone and I would have started strangling him. Like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm at the point where men need to be suffering larger consequences for behavior like that. I'm sorry. Men need to start suffering larger, they need to be suffering larger consequences for behavior like that. They really, really do. And I feel as though I would be one of those people that would be taking the reins to have these men suffer consequences. Like, I'm sorry. Because I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that. So I'm like, you want to know what? I'm just gonna chill out and like not deal with no one. And these men don't even care. Like that's the thing either. The men don't even care. They don't care about like the betrayal or like anything. They don't even care if they get an STD and give you one, even if it's a permanent one. Like men look at it as like a bond. They look at it as a bonding system. Like, yay, like I have something and now I'm going to give you something and like now we have something together. We get to be buddies. It's like that's their mindset. It's really weird. It's really, really weird. Of course. Of course. But yeah, like for me, it's just a larger risk. And the thing about it is that the only guy that I would sleep with, I cut him off. I haven't gotten to know anybody here, and guess what? I don't want to get to know anybody here also. So that's like another thing too. I cut off the guy that like I would trust enough, that I knew enough to trust at the time because I only trust men for the sector of time that I knew them. This is another reason why like I'm really leery on who I get information from in regards to men. Like I'm not asking another man about a man that I'm interested in or a man that I'm dealing with. I'm not asking another man. Of course, another man is going to say, yeah, he's cool. It's like y'all don't know enough about each other. Number one, y'all are not y'all are not getting to know each other on a deeper level for me to really trust what men have to say about other men. Um I trust more what women have to say, but even then, different circumstances warrant different reactions out of men. And so I'm always kind of leery, even if I get feedback from a woman, because it can be very situational. And so the thing about it is that you may have a different experience with a different man. And the only reason why your experience is different with that man was because you simply were in a different situation than another woman was in. So she really can only vouch for that man based off of her unique situation. But if we're in a completely different situation, she can't vouch for how he behaves in said situation. So that's kind of the reason why I'm just kind of like, ugh, I really pay attention. I really try to pay attention to how the person's behavior is when it comes to me. And I try to look out for the signs early on. Cause, yeah. Can I send a donation to hear your take on certain videos? So many times in dying to hear your takes. Yes. However, like, okay, because I need it to be like in an email, like you can cash at me, and then can you send an email and then put like the name that you have for the donation, because someone sent a donation for me to cover a video, and I could never cover the video because it was like so brief, like, and I couldn't look up exactly like what story or what video she was talking about, so I never got a chance to cover it. So it's like you could just send something to the Cash App, like you could donate to the Cash App, and then email me, and then just say like, hey, I sent a donation on Cash App, and then like send the link or like the video or something like that. That way I know exactly what it is that you're sending. Was dating a guy 20 years older than me. Is schizophrenic, narcissistic. He almost ruined my life. I think I'm done. I think I'm never going to find love, no matter how I look. Always, first of all, I'm sorry that sounds terrible and that sounds traumatizing. I'm really sorry that you're having that experience. But I also want to make it very clear, your level of treatment is not and should not be based on how you look. It's human basic decency for people to treat you with respect and not hurt you. Um because I don't believe that because somebody is unattractive, they should get treated poorly. Just like I don't believe that someone that is very beautiful should be getting treated the best. I don't believe that. And I think as women, it can be very easy for us to fall into the trap of being like, well, I'm beautiful. And so that will protect me, or it should protect me to have people treat me a certain way. And it's like, if if a man's an evil person, he's going to be an evil person no matter who he talks to, because he's the problem. It's not you. He's the problem. He's just an evil person. An evil person is going to be evil to anybody that's around them. So, like, I want to make that like very clear, because I don't want to, you know what I'm saying? I don't want anybody to ever, think that, evil people are just going to be evil people. It was a cardboard box to look like the Bible. Oh my God. Did you all see the video? Listen to this. There is a video of a pastor. So there's a woman. She comes to the church and she makes a contribution of $1,200. $1,200 to the church in this economy. Couldn't be me. Couldn't be me. She gives the man $1,200 donation. She's got her grandson there. They're all dressed up. You want to know what this pastor says? This pastor takes the check and looks at the check. It says, I didn't ask for $1,200. I asked for $2,000. He said, I asked for $2,000. What am I going to do with this $1,200? And guess what? The congregation started laughing. The congregation started laughing at the fact that this woman contributed $1,200 instead of $2,000, and the pastor like called her out in front of everybody. And this is why I don't support the church. This is why I don't support the church. That lady gave $1,200 of her hard-earned money to support that church, and was met with criticism because it wasn't $2,000. And then the congregation starts laughing. And I would have snatched the check back too, because ain't no fucking way. Like, ain't no way that I'm going to contribute. First of all, I'm not contributing $1,200 to the church to begin with. I never even gave tithes. Okay? People could call it being stingy. That was the dumbest shit to me. What, give you 10% for what? Give you 10% of what? First of all, I don't even know. I never even met this God before. I never even met this Jesus man before. So I just never could wrap my head around why I had to give money to the church, because the way that I looked at it, the church is a community thing. The church is a communal thing, and then they try to use that against you. So they try to use that against the church community to say, like, well, technically, like, we're not funded, and like technically, like, there's no privatization in any of this, so like we just have to use the money from the congregation in order to be able to like keep the church alive. And like you said, it's literally they have it, they can use it to get like tax write-offs and stuff like that. Okay, so they it's very well a thing for them to be able to make money off of the fact that the church is open in the first place. Okay, the money's coming from somewhere to begin with. That's the first thing. And then the second thing is that, like, you're not going to be happy with the contribution of $1,200. So you have to embarrass this woman in front of everyone, and then everyone's laughing. And I bet you that woman went back to church. I bet you she went back to church the following Sunday. I'm glad your creativity is back, girl. Sounds like he was siphoning your energy. I'm glad you cut that clown out of your life. I'm glad you cut that clown out of your life. Cause I was like, when that pastor said that, when that pastor said I asked for $2,000, I was just disgusted. I was just disgusted. Like, to receive $1,200, especially in this economy, like, honestly, I'm always grateful over the super chats. Like, I'm always super grateful over the super chats. Like, even if it's $1, even if it's $1 super chat, I'm over the moon about even receiving a small donation from a super chat, because times are really, really hard. Like, times are really, really hard for people. So for someone to receive $1,200 and then to question why it isn't $2,000 is just, it's just disgusting to me. And the fact that the congregation laughed is just, I'm sorry, but every day I get more and more confirmation as to why religion never made sense to me. It never made any sense to me. She didn't snatch the check back. She just laughed it off with the rest of the congregation. But it's things like that that further confirm why I never really went that far into religion, because that behavior to me, is just, it's just disgusting. It's just disgusting that this is what churches are allowing. Like, ugh. For the 20-something girls at work getting married, if they only had a crystal ball for 25 years down the road. And that's the thing. That's what kills me, because it's like I always want to be excited for women when they're getting married, and like I see the excitement on their face, and I don't want to be a negative Nancy or a Debbie Downer, but the thing that sucks about when you're young, you think life is always going to be like this. You think that the life that you have in front of you now is just always going to be like this. You think that the man that like you're marrying now, you think that he's always going to be like this. You think that your life experience is locked in. You think that the life that I live now, I can live this life every day, and I'm going to live this life every day. That's just not how it's going to happen. That's just not how it's going to happen. And that, yeah, your life is different. Nothing, it's not ever the same, and it's not ever going to go back to how things were. Then women have the sunk cost fallacy. And at that point, that's when they start really trying to barter with time and ask themselves, like, okay, if I just do one more thing to try to save the marriage, if I just do one more thing, I can get him to go back to acting like how he was. If I just do one more thing, I can get my happy family back. Like, I just hate it because it's like over time, you could just see how they're just constantly trying to bargain with like them making sacrifices and bargaining with all these changes and adjustments that they can make to like get this man to, act how he used to act and get the love back and stuff like that. And in my head, I'm just like, ugh, like it's gone, it's over. Like the time has lapsed. It was a moment in time, and then I'm just like, uh, I do. I want to be a negative Nancy LMAO. I'm just reacting to the circumstances. Like, for instance, okay, that girl that I worked at, Little Miss Masculine, the one that is paying $2,300 in rent because she moved to a different state with her boyfriend that refuses to get a job because if it ain't a work from home job, he don't want it. So she's the sole provider and only income coming in the house. I mean, I told her ass. I'm like, ew, like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? And like there's girls there are women that I know, and they're talking about how they're about to get married. They're talking about their boyfriend, like, and I'm just like, little do you know, life is going to change. I don't know when. I don't know when your life is. I don't know when your life is going to change, but it's going to change. Also, I know my wrist looks a little bit crazy. My wristband, like, I'm allergic to my wristband on my Fitbit, and it broke my wrist out. It broke my wrist out, so that's why my wrist looks crazy. That's why my wrist looks crazy. In case anyone's like, what the hell's going on with her wrist? Yeah, it's because I was allergic. I don't say anything anymore, especially if it's people that I see often. If it's people that I see often and like I have to share space with often, I don't say anything anymore. Um, I just quit saying anything. If it's somebody and I know, if it sucks. I have to stop wearing my Fitbit. I have to stop wearing my Fitbit. And like, honestly, I feel like the electrodes and like in the Fitbit, in the Apple Watch, I feel like it's doing shit to me. I know that sounds crazy. I know that sounds probably woo woo, but I feel like it's doing shit to me. Honestly, I feel like that the electrodes in there, I feel like it's doing some weird stuff. Because why is this shit burning up my wrist? Why is this shit burning up my wrist? So yeah, I think I really do think that I'm just gonna quit wearing it because I'm like, what the fuck? Like, yeah, I don't think we should wear technology either. And it's like I've been wearing an Apple Watch. I switched over to a Fitbit probably about 3 months ago. And I don't know. It's like as soon as I take it off my wrist, something like elevates. Something like elevates in like the air for me. I don't know what it is, but they're doing something with that technology. I mean, they're doing something with all of the technology, but wearing the technology that they're doing shit with just elevates it to another level. Because like I didn't even know, but the number one thing that they steal data from, it isn't even your phone. The number one thing that they steal data from is your fucking car. Believe it or not. Like if anybody has like that Bluetooth car, like your Apple CarPlay, I did not know this, but your car is actually stealing the most data from you. Your car knows fucking everything. Your car even knows your STD status. When I found that out, I was like, what? I was like, what? And I knew something was weird about the car too, because I started noticing like my phone would start acting weird after I would disconnect it from the car. I had disconnected it from my car and I would notice that like my phone would start acting weird. Yeah, you can look it up. Your car actually takes the most data from you. Your car takes more data from you than your own phone does. And once I started noticing that my phone would spaz out after I would have it connected to my car, it just was every single time. Every single time. And then I started noticing, like, if there was a song that I wanted to jam out to, my Apple CarPlay, which it would quit working. So it would quit working, and then it would pause, and then because the speaker, like, because the speaker would still work and the music would still work to play back, but as soon as I started singing, like, the song, it would just cut off. Like, it was weird. It's like every time I'm getting to a song, the shit just cut off. I was like, "Okay, something's going on." That's why, and I lived in New York City. I hate public transport. I hate public transport. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hated taking public transport. I hate it. Now, when I lived in New York City the first time, and like I was a good 50 pounds heavier than I am now, I didn't care as much because I was invisible. Okay. When I went back to New York City and like I was 50 pounds lighter, like, I look how I look now, and I would wear makeup to work. The public transit just got weird. The public transit just got weird, and I just would be like, I can't be like hot and be on public transit. I need to be hot and I need to be in the car. I met a nice man. He's consistent and spoils me, but I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Listen, it's an expiration date on the niceness and them spoiling you. The expiration date is different for everybody. Maybe 5 months, maybe 5 days, maybe 5 years. The expiration date is different. The expiration date is going to be different. And that's what I tell myself. As long as they keep treating me this way, then I'm good. And the moment that they stop treating me this way, I'm out. It's really that simple. I don't even feel bad for having that mindset, and you shouldn't either, because it's not going to be like that forever. That's just the harsh reality. The harsh reality is that it's not going to be like that forever. I'm an information system, so this text speak got me tweaking. You're like, what? You're like, what are they talking about? They're over here doing what? Yeah, but you can look it up. Your car actually is, your car uses the most data. It uses the most data about you, even more than your phone. Because that's the reason why I say that long-term relationships are a scam. Long-term relationships are a scam because it's reduced effort over time. It's easier for men to have reduced effort, and that's putting in 6 months worth of effort, planning dates, taking you out on dates, taking you shopping, picking you up, dropping you off, having conversation with you, initiating conversation with you. They're not going to be able to keep that up. They're just not going to be able to keep that up. Once I realized that it was an expiration date on their behavior, that was my sign to just leave when the behavior changed. Honestly, that's when I realized, like, oh, there's no need for me to even stick around after their behavior change, because once they off, they're not going to revert back to that behavior that they originally gave you. It's just not going to happen. And I'm not sticking around trying to get that version of them back. By the time, with all the effort that I'm making trying to get that version of them back, I'll be moved on to the next person that's giving me the same treatment that they used to be giving me, if not better. So it's kind of one of those things where it's like, yeah, you could be focusing on other things in the interim instead of trying to like hold on to this lost cause of a man just because he gave you a good experience for a couple months. Like, it's, to me, it just doesn't make any sense. It's plenty of men out there. Child, go find somebody else to have the phase with. And then once that phase runs out, go find another person. You know, that's how I look at it. I'll just go find somebody else to do it. Boom, perfect. Problem solved. Problem solved. But no, their effort over time reduces too much. And with all the labor, the domestic labor, the emotional labor, blah, blah, blah. Child, it's not even worth it. It's not even worth it. I'll just find somebody else. I'll just find somebody else. But y'all, I'm gonna get off of here. I'm gonna get off of here. I'll be back on here tomorrow, though. I will. I'll be back on here tomorrow. Just don't forget to like and subscribe. And I hope you all have a wonderful morning, evening, afternoon. I don't know what time it is where you're watching, but I will talk to y'all next time. And I love you guys so much. Thanks so much for the super chats and everything. And